Welcome back, everyone. And even though this is the last weekly standings and predictions video for the year, it is still going to continue on as the current season. Yes, I'm going to do them in seasons. But anyways, let's start with our my regular monthly. Our top three teams in the Metropolitan for the Eastern Conference are Carolina, New Jersey, and Washington. And no surprises there. Even more of a no surprise is Boston, Toronto, and Tampa Bay leading the Atlantic. The top two wildcard spots are currently Pittsburgh and the Rangers. Everyone else is just outside of it. I'll just read them off by point value. Carolina has 52, New Jersey has 46, Washington is 44. Boston is 57, Toronto is 50, Tampa Bay is 41. On the rest of the spots, Pittsburgh 43, Rangers 43. That's why they're there. Followed by, on the outside looking in, Islanders 42, Detroit 35, Buffalo 34, Florida 34, Ottawa 33, Montreal 33, Philadelphia 29, Columbus 22. In the Western Conference Central Division top three, we are Dallas with 48 points, Winnipeg at 43 points, and Minnesota at 42 points. In the Pacific, Vegas has 49 points, leading the division. Los Angeles second with 46 points, and Seattle is third with 40. The two wildcard spots currently held by Colorado with 40 points and Edmonton with 40 points. Outside looking in, Calgary with 39, Vancouver with 35, St. Louis with 35, Nashville with 33, Arizona with 29, San Jose with 28, Anaheim is 22, and dead last Chicago with 20. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but with conferences for the NBA. The Celtics currently lead at 25 and 10, and the Bucks at 22 and 11, the Nets at 22 and 12, Cavaliers 22 and 13, they're a half game behind. 76ers at 20 and 13, Knicks at 18 and 17, they have tiebreaker. With our play-ins currently looking like the Pacers 18 and 17, the Heat at 500, with tiebreaker over the Hawks, who are also at 500, and the Raptors at 15 and 19. On the outside looking in right now are the Bulls at 14 and 19, Wizards at 14 and 21, the Magic at 13 and 22, Hornets at 9 and 26, and the Pistons at 8 and 28. Western Conference, the Nuggets lead it at 22 and 11, with the Pelicans at 21 and 12, better start than last season in overall. The Grizzlies at 20 and 13, Clippers at 21 and 15, the Suns at 20 and 15, the Mavericks at 19 and 16. Currently looking at play-in are the Kings at 17 and 15, the Trailblazers at 18 and 16, the Jazz at 19 and 17, and the Warriors at 17 and 18. They're starting to bounce back now. On the outside looking in are the Timberwolves at 16 and 18, the Thunder at 15 and 19, the Lakers at 14 and 20, Spurs at 11 and 23, and the Rockets at 10 and 24. So it's not going to be as clear right now. Moving on to the NFL. Oh, once again, a win or a Dallas loss is going to clinch the division, and a win clinches first round by home field advantage too. This time around, we got some differences. Tampa Bay clinches the South with a win. Giants are winning in, followed by 9 different scenarios. Washington can get in with a win. Seattle lost. Detroit lost. And Green Bay lost. So we are starting to look at everything now. Buffalo can get first round bye and home field advantage with a win and Kansas City loss. Miami can get in with a win, Jets loss, or a tie, Jets loss, and Pittsburgh loss. Cincinnati can clinch the AFC North with a win in Baltimore or a loss, pretty much. Now for the eliminations. Dallas is knocked out of the East with a loss or a Philly win, of course. New Orleans can be eliminated from title contention with a loss, and that same thing applies for playoff contention. There's a bunch of different scenarios as well. Carolina just needs to lose, and they're out for good. Washington can be eliminated with a loss, a Detroit win, and Green Bay win. Lions are eliminated with a loss and Washington win. Green Bay is eliminated with a loss and Detroit win, plus several other scenarios. Seattle loss and Washington win knocks out Seattle, followed by a bunch of different scenarios. Ravens can be knocked out the title contention with a loss and Cincy win. New England is eliminated from the playoffs by losing. Jets can be eliminated as well by losing. Pittsburgh can be eliminated as well by losing. And the Raiders can be eliminated by a loss or Dolphins win or a Jets win. So it's anything can still happen here. As we go on. So week 17, the second to last game of the week of the season, and by that I mean regular season. Officially in the playoffs now are the Ravens and the Chargers. There's nobody else that's clinched in the NFC, so it's still wide open. And so we're going to start with the last Thursday night football game of the year, Cowboys versus Titans. Unfortunately for the Titans, they're going to have to wait another week before any scenarios regarding them come in. So they're going to lose as the Jaguars maintain at the top of the division for another week. Next, we have Dolphins versus Patriots. Patriots are still looking to get into the playoff hunt, and they're going to take tiebreaker over the Dolphins in maintaining the possibility of getting in as the seventh seed. Browns versus Washington is next, and contradictory to how things have been, I am actually going to take the Browns in this game. They're gonna play spoiler. No surprises there. Their Carson Wentz has been confirmed to start. Washington is still needing help to get in. It's gonna be hard for them to do so. Next up is Cardinals versus Falcons. Two teams are officially out of the playoffs. Uh, Teams tanking, no surprise. We got a head coach that could be gone at the end of the year. A lot of things can go sour for both. That's why I'm going to declare this as my tie of the week. Both teams are not worthy of this at all. At all. Next is Jaguars versus Texans. Don't let that Texans record fool you. They've actually been playing some sneaky football as of late. Eight. And yeah, they're still a tanking team. It is in Houston, and the Jags already lost to them once this year. And there is a lot to play for. Things can go sour, actually. That's why I think the Texans are going to win over the Jaguars. Sorry, Jazz, you do not have a clinching scenario this week. You're going to have to wait till your game against the Tennessee Titans, which is probably going to end up being the game that gets flexed to Sunday night prime time because we can't have anything good. Seriously. Nobody can clinch until week 18 for the NFC South. That's it. So, what do we have next after that? Colts versus Giants. Despite how the Colts have been playing, I think the Giants are going to bounce back and clinch a playoff spot as the sixth seed. Yeah, three teams from the NFC East making the playoffs. You don't hear about that every day. So next up is Broncos versus Chiefs. Yeah, I say this is a no contest game. The Chiefs are going to win this one despite having an interim head coach. There is no surprise here. No surprise. No surprise. Then we have the NFC South matchup for the year. For this will decide who wins the division and who gets another shot. And at this point in the season, and the Panthers can actually win it at 8-9. Buccaneers are playing at home though, and that's probably going to end up being what gives them the edge in clinching the division. And with nothing else to play for because they'll only get in as the fourth seed and most likely against Dallas. Sorry, guys. You played hard, Panthers, but it's just simply time to go. Bears versus Lions. And so I'm taking Detroit mainly because they're a better team and the Bears suck, which puts the Bears in the driver's seat for the first overall pick. Next, we have Saints versus Eagles. The Eagles are going to take this game, clinch the first round bye and home field advantage, and giving the Vikings nothing else to play for aside for seeding, in which means they're going to rest their starters in their last game against the Bears, regardless of what happens in Green Bay. Speaking of seeding, the 49ers versus the Raiders. No, Raiders. You do not get a chance to make the playoffs with Josh McDaniels. You are long out of the picture. Goodbye to your season. And let the Mr. Irrelevant pick lead you to glory. Then we have Jets versus Seahawks. The unlikely must win game for either team. Both teams need to win this game in order to stay alive in the playoff hunt. And ultimately, I think that the better coach Seahawks are going to jump back into the seventh seed slot. I know I said it wrong, but who cares? It's the Seahawks. They're at home too, so that's another advantage. Battle of Los Angeles Rams versus Chargers. Both teams are in opposite directions. The Rams are now having nothing to play for. Chargers are officially in and just awaiting their seeding as a wild card team. And so I'm gonna say that this game doesn't matter much and just declare two ties of the week. Because why not? It's late in the season. I can afford to do stuff like that now that things are becoming more clear, and that's what I'm going to do. Vikings versus Packers. There's the Packers. They're looking to get a bunch of miracles their way in order to get in as the seventh seed. The likely to get busted by who knows, maybe the Vikings again. But that said, the Vikings are still a pretty strong team. Yeah, a lot of their wins came in close games, but at the same time, they have not struggled against above 500 teams, which is usually a meme for Kirk Cousins, but isn't so this year. And now we come to Sunday Night Football of Steelers versus Ravens. And the Steelers are hoping to make a playoff push, get in as the seventh seed. They have to outdo the Patriots. And I don't think they're going to do that. They're playing against Baltimore in Baltimore. And the Ravens are in the playoffs and they're fighting for control of their own division. Sorry, guys, it's just not happening. Steelers get a losing record for the first time since who knows how long. First losing season under Mike Tomlin. Ravens are getting closer to the Bengals for the division lead. And then finally, Monday Night Football, Bills versus the Bengals. I like the Bills. They're the more complete team. They're still going to be number one. In this scenario, means they'll have to win out, clinch the first round bye. And that is where I'm going to leave my predictions for this NFL season. Anything can change. I may finally decide to go with the Chargers or the Rams. Who knows? Maybe the Packers will pull off some BS. As this season has been so out of whack. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and hopefully things go much better for me, given the fact that, well, things have not gone so great. It has Greg Abbott apparently sent migrants over to Washington, D.C. in freezing temperatures for bizarre reasons, aside from political stunts. And while the rest of Texas was freezing during the uh, big storm stuff. If you don't want to end up freezing because you don't have any electricity, be be sure to find out what's in your area that you can donate to. So then make sure you have sufficient power. Make sure you're paying for your light bills if you can afford it. And definitely make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.